Mark, thank you. If you're over the age of 30, you probably have fond memories of hanging out at the local shopping mall. But with big brands like Macy, Sears, and JCPenney shuttering stores, those memories are fading, replaced by empty storefronts. Our Olivia Bosser has been investigating what one local mall owner is doing to reverse that trend. It turns out, not much.
Store closing signs like this one are nothing new. And while it's easy to point fingers at more people shopping online and on their phones, there are other factors to consider.
There are too many chains closing down many stores.
2024 was a difficult year for retailers. Marketing experts have been tracking the closures.
I read that over 7,000 stores, individual locations across the U.S. have closed from January until the end of November. And that is 69% higher than in the same period in 2023.
And the trend shows no sign of slowing in 2025. You'd think that shopping mall owners would try upgrading their properties to attract more customers, but I found out that's not always the case. Let's take a look at Namdar Realty, owners of the Nittany Mall in State College and the Logan Valley Mall in Altoona. In both cases, these malls were already struggling when Namdar bought them, paying less than $20 million each back in 2014 and 2017. Since then, there's been little investment.
Namdar has come in and basically run them like a cash cow. They say, okay, if we buy this for $15 million, even if we have only 75% occupancy and these tenants continue to pay rent, we will make profits on the basis that we bought this property.
And that appears to be their business model, buying malls for a fraction of their original value and then allowing the properties to deteriorate as the tenant list dwindles.
There's much less foot traffic in the mall, so they haven't been as engaged. In terms of external to the building and their engagement in the community, it's pretty limited.
Assistant College Township Manager Mike Bloom points to this growing sinkhole as a sign of neglect. After trying for months to reach Namdar Realty, the township decided to repair the sinkhole themselves, then bill the owner. But instead of addressing the gaping concern, Namdar tried suing the township to stop the repairs. Namdar claimed they were bringing in their own construction team, but after waiting and waiting, the township took action anyway.
Particularly the sinkhole and other infrastructure issues around the property that present kind of a safety issue to the larger community, you would think they would be a little bit more responsive than they have been.
Inside the Nittany Mall, anchor stores have turned over. Now they're betting on getting a casino. The local officials say little has been done to remodel or reinvest.
We've seen the building age fairly considerably. It is an older building, and you would expect that, but what we haven't necessarily seen is the level of investment into the structure that would be needed to keep it at a high quality that it had been for a number of years.
About 150 miles away in the Pittsburgh suburb of Tarentum, it's a similar story of decay and delay. Huge potholes litter the pavement outside the Pittsburgh Mills Mall, another Namdar property purchased at a discounted rate back in 2018. The roads around the mall have gotten so bad, the local municipality is taking legal action against Namdar. So bad that a state representative also stepped in to force Namdar to patch the potholes.
Namdar, the last time that I spoke with them, they assured me that they would be on site in early January to patch the major holes. There have been a few holes patched, but really they've just been filled with slag. They've not been cold patched, and it's not acceptable.
She says customers have been calling her office reporting damage to their cars. Meanwhile, inside the mall, about 75% of the space is vacant, with not a single tenant open in the food court. Namdar owns 7 malls in Pennsylvania, and according to the New York-based company's website, they own nearly 400 commercial properties nationwide, and they often appeal property tax assessments to lower their own costs. At Pittsburgh Mills, Namdar successfully got the property value lowered from $148 million to $14 million, which in turn forced the local school district to refund Namdar more than $2 million in taxes. And while the Logan Valley Mall is not seeing the building fall into disrepair at this time, they are seeing more and more empty storefronts as business owners find mall life to be emptying their pockets.
One of the biggest things is money. If you're charging more rent for the places, people are finding out that they can buy a place, open up their own storefront, and pay less in a monthly payment than they did at a mall.
While both Altoona and State College actively work to bring commerce to the area, the future of our local malls remains uncertain.
We've heard rumors over the years that the Logan Valley Mall was going to turn into be a medical center. And then we also heard it was going to turn into a junior college. Different smaller colleges had looked into there. And then we actually heard that it was going to put a hotel in the one corner of the mall also.
Meanwhile, shoppers who want to browse the racks at brick and mortar retailers may soon have to drive farther distances to bigger cities.
I think you become a desert for malls, for sure. I think that once that goes away, if it does get raised or something like that, I don't think somebody puts up a new shopping mall there.
I reached out several times to Namdar Realty Group to find out their plans to revitalize our local malls. They never replied to most of my questions, except to confirm by email when the malls were purchased. I'm Olivia Bosser for WTAJ News.